from real life. Okay?
Okay.
What I'm going to do is to show her some things. And then in that process of showing her some things, like the flag and being able to touch her wherever I want, wherever I need to, which she's going to tell me where I need to touch her. All right? By how she reacts. And if she was unresponsive, like in not exploding and coming apart, when I touched her and she just kind of ears forward or ears kind of in a neutral position, not ears back and ready to strike me, then I'd stop and give her a break.
Right.
So are you familiar with a functional MRI?
Yes.
Good. Well, with the functional MRI studies that they've done, they've figured out that rest is really important in the learning process.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll expose her to some things and then I'll go away. And then I'll come back and expose her to some things and then I'll go away. And then I'll just keep changing that up. And then the last thing we would do today would be to kind of remind her of some things that we started with.
Okay.
So that tomorrow or whenever you work with her again, the last thing we did was kind of go over those things that she needed. All right? So primacy recency. In other words, the last thing you do will be the first thing that comes to her mind when you go to work with her again.
Okay.
Right? Because I might get this thing working pretty good, and then tomorrow, like I was mentioning earlier, tomorrow you might start out and it'd be like right back to square one, right? Because that's what she has the most experience doing.
Okay.
All right? Good. Now be careful. There you go. Good. Now, she's pretty bothered because the foot comes up, but as soon as the foot went back down and she kind of was willing to bear a little bit more weight, then I just left her. But I'm not going to, when she goes to paw, I'm not going to take my hand away and let her think that that's what I want her to do.
Okay.
So release of the pressure is probably even more important than the pressure itself, isn't it? It's when I let that go that she goes, okay, all I got to do then is kind of accept it for certainly at the time or whatever, and then it goes away. So she can teach me not to do that, can't she?
Yeah. That's
See?
exactly it.
So when I go to put my knuckles in there and kind of rub that muscle, she might say, oh, that tickles. And I'd say, okay. So let me give you a quote. Every day you're going to ask your horse what she thinks about the things that you're going to do together.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that you're not going to do those things, but that's where you're going to start, right? So, what we want to do is figure out what she needs, not what any other horse in the barn needs, but what does she need, and how does she need to have us present that? So I need to find out where she's coming from before we really do anything.
Right.
But I'll go through some things and see what she needs.